So there is so much that is actually coming to the game. What is going on, guys? Corrosive Bullet here, bringing you a update breakdown of the new 2.12 update that came to Dragon Ball Legends in the middle of the night last night. It was about, I think it was 8 hours, 10 hours of maintenance or whatever. So we're gonna be breaking everything down in this video. So if you want to see more content like this, please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell to stay tuned to when we upload more videos. Comment down below what you're excited about from this update, as well as if you're going to be summoning for the new Goten and Trunks. So let's just dive right into it because we got a lot to cover. So Goten and Trunks are officially released. I'm going to change up my format and how I normally do these types of units, these unit breakdowns. So I'm just going to go over their transform state because their base state units are generally decent, but they don't really showcase the full capabilities of what a unit's able to do. So we'll just do that first. We'll do it that way. All right. So at 6 stars, 5,000 level, he is on the Sun Family, Hybrid Saiyan, Super Saiyan teams. 2.14 health is pretty decent. His blast attack and his strike attack are decent at best, but his defenses are really, really good. This is kind of what I would expect from a support type character in general. So, no, I'm very impressed by these defenses. Not all that impressed by these attacks, but his kit, I think, will actually improve upon this based on what the previews were kind of showing. So, transforms. Oh, yeah, we'll see about that. Draw special arts card next. Restores his own ki by 50. Increases his own arts card draw speed by 2 for 10 timer counts. That's actually pretty good. That's really good. Normally this is done by 1, but seeing it as by 2, he's going to be pulling cards like it's nothing. Blooming Talent applies the following effects to self until transformation ends. 70% to damage inflicted. Reduces damage by 30%. Cannot be canceled. So when his transformation ends, he has a time transformation, guys. When his does his base actually tell you how long he actually stays transformed for? 40 timer counts. Okay. So he stays for 40 timer counts. Once he drops from his transformation, he gains these buffs and they can't be canceled. That's pretty nuts. That's actually really, really good. Applies the following effects to allied tag hybrid and sun when this character is switched to standby. Restores ki by 30. That's good. 20% of damage inflicted for 20 timer counts. That's pretty good too. Gains minus 20 to enemy sustained damage cut for 20 timer counts. That's all really good. That I would expect that from a support type. And yeah, the fact that he keeps these two is actually kind of nuts from that as well. Lessons from Gohan applies the following effects to self when there are 20 timer counts remaining until transformation ends. So when there's 20 timer counts remaining in his transformation, he restores his own health by 20, and he also gains 30% to damage inflicted for 30 timer counts. That's really nuts. So in reality, he's getting 100% damage boost between the time he hits 20 timer counts and the time he loses his transformation. That's actually really solid. That means in the last 10 seconds. Yeah, you guys know what I'm saying. So upon using a blast card, he restores his vanishing gauge by 10%. Which that's not bad at all. I think there's like 1 or 2 other units in the game that actually do this. So it's nice to see that actually like making its way onto a hybrid side. Super Goten attack deals massive impact damage and then reduces the enemy ki by 50 on hit. Okay. And then his special skill is comboable. 20% of damage inflicted for 15 timer counts, reduces damage taken by 20. by 20 timer counts. That can't be stacked though. That makes sense because that would be a little OP if he could stack that and that. Yeah, that's really, really good. And then at the 6-star mark, he gains 30% to Hybrid and Sun family for strike and blast attack. That's really, really good. Hybrids and Sun family are both going to benefit from this greatly, in my opinion. Goten is a very solid unit. All right, let's go over to Trunks. Trunks is green and just same as Goten, except in the Vegeta family side. 6 stars, 5,000. So not as much health. He has a bit more strike attack and about the same blast attack. And he is a melee type, so that makes sense. Not as good at defenses, but his defenses aren't bad either. Goten's defenses are actually really, really solid. So I wouldn't imagine that this Trunks would actually hit that. All right, so we rule. What I tell you. Restores own health by 25%, plus 40 to damage inflicted. Oh, that's a permanent. That's a permanent increase. There is no timer on that. It can be canceled, though, it looks like. So that's a permanent buff, but it can't be canceled. And then he cancels his own attribute downgrades. Really good. Really solid. Can't judge a book by its cover. Following effects occur when this character enters the battlefield. 50% to damage inflicted for 15 timer counts. 50% to key recovery for 20 timer counts, and then inflicts all enemies with 2 substitution counts. All right, so he's got a very slight lock-in. He gains a decent amount of damage, and this is every time he enters the battlefield. So you're going to want to be switching out with this guy quite often, for the sheer fact that every time he comes back in, he gains these buffs. So definitely want to try and switch him in as much as possible. Fight applies the following effects to self every time this character uses a strike arts. 15% to damage inflicted for 5 timer counts, and increased draw speed by 1 level for 5 timer counts. That's pretty decent. That's actually pretty decent. Who does that right now? I was just playing as somebody recently who does the same exact thing. Oh god, I can't think of it. Oh, it's Shallot. Shallot does this once he's transformed, and once he gets a it's basically a combination of his special skill and his strike skill, because he gains damage. He gains damage every time he uses a melee art, and then he gains 1 draw speed every time he lands his special attack. So that's actually pretty good. Also, -5 to own strike and blast arts card for 5 timer counts upon landing a blast arts hit. Okay. So you're not only getting draw speed, but you're also getting less key usage whenever you land a blast arts. He's pretty balanced. I'm actually liking this Trunks quite a bit. Again, you're going to want to run him and have him switch in and out to get the most out of him, but I like this guy's kit. All right, so nothing in strike, nothing in blast. Rush, break, shoot. Deals massive impact damage, 25% to damage inflicted for 20 timer counts upon activation. That's pretty decent. And then feelings running high, 20 restores own ki by 20, then plus 20 to strike damage inflicted. All right, nothing special here. This is pretty standard as of this point. Damage inflicted on this, and buffing yourself from this. It's standard. Yeah, and then he's strike attack and strike defense. So I'm actually liking these units quite a bit. And I really hope we get to pull them in our summon video. That being said, I'm not as excited about these guys as I am with EX Zenkai Awakened Raditz. I am absolutely blown away that we finally got a free-to-play Zenkai. So I'm very excited to test out the event, and I'll probably do a breakdown video of how the event works as well. But let's just go over it. So I'm going to use what I have my Raditz at to showcase what he's capable of. And then I'm not even going to show his base because he has nothing on his base. So let's just dive right into it. So at 14 max stars in his Zenkai, at 5,000 level, 2.39 health. That's pretty good. Almost 2.5 mil. 232 strike, which is not bad. That's really good considering he's a blast unit. And his blast is 252. He's pretty good. His defenses are nothing to write his not nothing to write home about, but his defenses are also really solid. Compared to his base, he gains quite the buff. Quite the buff. So I'm excited about that. All right. Insatiable Invader restores own key by 50, 35% to own key recovery, -5 to own blast cards for 15 timer counts after 10 seconds pass. That's very big upgrade from there. Unprecedented Terror, 20% to damage inflicted against Super Warrior, Sun Family, and Regen. Cannot be canceled. That's nuts. That's really, really good. Because it used to be just damage against Super Warrior. But now, not only is he gaining a 5% increase, but he's also against Sun Family and Regen. So, Raditz is nuts. Raditz is going to be nuts. His other standard ability, the following effects occur for 30 timer counts from the battle start. 30% to damage blast damage inflicted against Saiyan characters. Also reduces damage received by 20%. So he's already gaining an immediate buff upon the start of each match. Which I am absolutely blown away by. It's nuts. All right, so at level 3, he gains Callous Aggression. Inflicts enemy with attribute downgrade +10 to damage received for 15 timer counts every time this character uses a blast arts. So attribute downgrade 10% to damage received on enemies for 15 timer counts. Okay, so this one isn't too crazy. This is more or less kind of standard. As we've seen from other Zenkais, normally their kits for their step 3 and step 6 are usually a little bit better than this, but considering that his unique ability, just upon standard Zenkaiing him, this is okay. This is still very useful, regardless, but this is definitely not on par with that of other Zenkais. But again, this will also stack up. This will stack up if you can get multiple hits in while using blast arts. So I'm not going to complain about this. That's very solid for step 3. And then at 6, applies the following effects to self when he enters the battlefield. Randomly destroy one of your own cards and draw a special arts card next. Which means that his special arts card must be something really good. 30% to damage inflicted on top of that cannot be canceled. Oh, no, cannot be stacked. Okay, so once he switches in, he gets an additional 30% buff. And then increases art draw speed by 1 for 15 timer counts. That's pretty good. This is pretty good. So if you take all this into consideration, 20% to these tags, which you're going to be running into Sun Family and Regen more than anything else. So you'll probably see this come into play quite a bit. So you got 20% there. You have 30% to blast damage here against Saiyans. So you're talking 50 possibly. And then 30 on top of that, which is 80. So 80% increase, potentially 80% increase to these characters. This is really good. That's really good. I'm actually liking this EX Raditz's kit a lot, considering that it's not really much to say, considering he had almost nothing before. So, but yeah, I'm actually pretty impressed by that. So nothing in Blast, nothing in Melee. Double Sunday deals major impact damage, 20% to own Blast Arts power for 20 timer counts, and that used to be 10%. So that's pretty good. And then Unlock Key to Form, 15% to damage inflicted for 15 timer counts, 10% to damage inflicted per Blast Arts card in your hand. So if you have 3 Blast Arts in your hand when you use this, he's gaining 30 from that. That's pretty solid. It also changes your own Strike Arts card to Blast Arts. all in all, Kit is fantastic on this EX Raditz. Now, this is something I wasn't expecting either. Um, well, I guess this is the same, I guess, as everything else. Nothing has really changed, but um, he only gains 2 increases as you up his Zenkai ability, but he buffs element blue, which is and extreme rarity extreme. So we may start seeing something along the lines of a extreme only team going forward. Because if this is going to be the standard for how EX, how extreme units are with their Zenkai abilities, I can see Zenkai extreme free to play teams coming into play. So not only would you have the free to play Legends Road, but free to play players would also possibly have free extreme teams to run as well. I don't know. We'll have to see. But I really like this Raditz. Going into it, we're gonna go into look at his event here. He gets 3 standard chapters. He gets 1 to 6 EX, which I think this is more or less the same as what it's kind of been. From chapter 1 to EX6, the only thing that's really changed is that not only will you be able to get more Z power and be able to get these first clear bonuses again, but they added the Piccolo equip to this. They've added other equipments that didn't used to be in this event, which is really, really nice addition. There will be an awakening battle, which upon the first clear, you will immediately get 500 of the awakening Z power. And then the droppable items will be here as well. So what it looks like is that this is going to be only in hard mode from what I'm seeing here. The EXs have only hard modes. And then Awakening is only on hard. Yeah, you'll get this as long as you clear it within 140 timer counts, which is nothing to write home about. Like, that's easy to do. That's not a bad deal. And then same with the bonus battle. I don't know if the bonus battle is going to be like the once a day thing, or if it's or what, but you also get the Z power from Raditz here. So pretty cool. Let's go to other events that are getting ready to come in, and then we'll look at the banners and then some of the other updates real quick, and then we'll call it a video. So Choice Battle is on its way back. The co-op battle is no longer the Kid Goku. If you missed out, you missed out. The only way that you'll be able to Zenkai Awaken him and whatnot is through Chrono Crystals, so keep that in mind. They kept the format of this Space-Time Rush, which I'm very happy about. So I'm glad that they're keeping to that format. So definitely, guys, make sure you are doing this event. Make sure you are doing this every 2 weeks. But that's more or less it. There are no actual battles. This is the only event that's going on right now. So definitely use this time to grind up Raditz, and when Choice Battle comes out, make sure you do those. But yeah, Legends All Stars. This is a brand new banner, and I'm thinking, as I showed you guys in the live reaction video that I put up yesterday, you can now, if you pull one of these characters one time for 2,000 Chrono Crystals, you will be able to unlock this. And I think this is going to be the standard for this new All Star banner. I think 2,000 personally might be a little too high, but considering that you may not always be guaranteed on a 1,000 multi-summon to pull either of these characters, the fact that you spend 2,000 Chrono Crystals and you can put 3 additional stars on these characters is nuts. So I'm not going to complain about that at all. And again, this is the first time they're doing it, so they may change it down the road. Who knows? But for 2,000, that's actually not a bad deal. You can now get Legends tickets that are not exclusive to Step Up banners anymore. So this adds on to the bang for your buck with this as well. So be sure that if you're going to summon for these characters, that you go for the multis when you can. As far as the banner goes, Omega's back, Rage Trunks is back. Personally, I could probably go for more Rage Trunks. I already have this Omega Shenron at like 8 stars, 9 stars. So I don't necessarily need more Omegas, but I guess I'll take them if I get them. Same with this Trunks. I don't really want any more. I don't really want to pull him anymore. This Gotenks is pretty good still. Baby is, I think, is starting to show his age, but I guess you can add him in here if you want. Super Boo, he's garbage. This Gohan, he's not bad. Zenkaid. This Cell's really good, Zenkaid. This kid Gohan's brand new. I didn't really look to see what he's in, but I'm already going over my time limit here, so I'm not trying to really be overdone with it. And on top of that, this Trunks is finally back as well. I have yet to pull him, so I hope I get a copy or two of him as well. But we shall see. And then last but not least, guys, we're going to go over just a quick couple things with the new update. They say that the title loading screens have been fixed. It'll be slow upon the first time, but after that first time, the loading screens will be much faster, which makes sense. They brought the E-Tanks. The E-Tanks are now fully implemented. You trade in your tickets to the recycling center, and this adds up to here. What's nice about this is that you do not have to hit the plus button and add in tank energy to fill your tank bar. As you use your energy, it just gets taken off this count, which isn't a bad plan. It's not a bad plan, but just be careful with your skip tickets with this, because it will just automatically pull from your E-Tank. So just keep that in mind. Training battles have been fixed, as I mentioned in the live reaction video. We will be doing showcase videos, and I actually have something a little special planned. Something that I don't see any other creators using or doing on their channels. So please keep an eye out for future PvP showcase content down the road. But yeah, this maxes out your level at 5,000. Limit breaks it completely. Max abilities, your Zenkai Awakenings, your current Awakening rank. And then they changed a bunch of stuff. They added a unlock all feature in soul boosting. You can now use Chrono Crystals to fully soul boost. I don't know if free-to-play players want to be doing this, but if you have a couple, depending on what the cost is, I don't know what the cost is. Oh, that's not terrible, actually. The fact that you go from very little to what's here and only using less than 500 to fully max out. Yeah, because that's going from here. Yeah, that's the same power level. No, that's nuts. Okay. So about 500 Chrono Crystals to do that. Definitely worth doing if you have the CC to spend. I would not recommend doing this for people, but if there's a unit that you're short on that you just want to get done and out of the way and you have the Chrono Crystals for it, then I mean it's an option. So that's really cool. They changed up the UI a little bit. They added advantage and disadvantage stuff to your characters for missions. That's probably to help kind of counter. Maybe this might be involved with like co-op too. Who knows? Which is cool. But you can now see more details in the missions if you hold down the missions button. They did changes to equipment. Co-op, you can now see your partner's Dragon Ball count, which is really cool. And then you can do friend battles that can now be played as the same as Legends Battle Royale, which is really cool. So, But yeah, that's more or less the changes of the update. I'm sorry that this was a lot to take in, guys, but there was a lot to cover in this one. So, thank you guys again for the love and support. Like and subscribe if you want to see more Legends content. We will be, like I said, we will be doing more PvP stuff, and I will be doing a special series uh, that I will go over in a future video at some point. And yeah, it's gonna be fun. So thank you guys for the love and support again. I will see you guys in the summoning video. Peace.